What up, fam? We got live Sixers reactions, live Phillies reactions. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let's go.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored. They did it.
Left, feet left.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in. This is Dan Friday, only on A2D Radio. We are brought to you every Friday by BodyCheckWellness.com. You can use promo code A2D. Give yourself 20% off at checkout. Body Check Wellness, a line of products that promote wellness, balance, and recovery by using the full potential of hemp. Go check them out. BodyCheckWellness.com. Promo code A2D, 20% off. Tom, Jake, John, Pete, the family out there. What's happening, everybody? Well, before we started this show, we were feeling real good about the Sixers. We'll talk them later on in the show, though. We're going to talk about the Eagles trading back up into the top 10. We'll have our rapid-fire questions. We'll do a little Phillies, Cardinals post-game, Sixers, Clippers post-game. We'll give live reactions, Phillies, Cardinals as they go on. And our main topic will be Sixers, Clippers, and everything ties in to our poll question, which is brought to you by our doc. Got to make him yours. Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy.com. Find him on the web, right down there. What's up, everybody? In our poll, here it is. The Sixers will retain first place in the East for the remainder of the regular season. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, comment in, join the conversation. It is Fan Friday. So we love getting all your comments. I see Evil Slayer already in the super chat, helping the family out, driving.
Appreciate it.
We love you. We can't thank you enough. Super chats help, likes help, subscribes help. It all helps. So not back to our poll. Let's get to our poll and answer it. You would ask me a half hour ago, we were 6 to midnight around here. And I would say, absolutely. Yeah. Nothing's changed for me. I mean, I think when you give people games and you don't want to play your guys, okay, and that's the way you go about things, I don't think you get the number one seed. I think karma gets you. That's just me. That's just how I feel. I think the Sixers are a damn good basketball team. I'm going to stand by that. Win or lose tonight, right? It's the NBA. Paul George just went off, right? And it's the way it is. It's the way it is. So I'm not overly concerned. I just don't like losing games you're up big, but I also understand that's also the league we're in now to a point. Everybody makes a run, and can you withstand it? So now we're talking the only time that matters in basketball games, essentially, the last 5 minutes. The last 5 minutes. So can the Sixers again, like they did the other night on Wednesday night, can you close the game out in the last 5 minutes? I had a shot clock. 92-92. To the poll, the Sixers will retain first place in the East for the remainder of the regular season. I agree. I don't see how they give it up. Right? I really don't. I can see them losing games. But then, right now, we lose, Nets lose, we're tied again. So can we outduel them? Can we outlast them? I think we can. I truly do. I believe in this basketball team. I have from the get-go. I talked about first or second in the East from Jump Street before the season started, and I'm not a guy to waver. You know what I mean? I'm not a cat that waver. I'm not a kitten. No kitten talk here. So I'm going to stand by what I believe. And I believe karma is a bitch. I also believe freaking turnovers drive me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Karma's a bitch, boys, and that's where it stands. So if you think you can get away with just not playing guys against a team you're trying to go first in the East against, I think that karma gets you second. I just think that's how that karma works. Now I can be completely wrong, and as I'm saying this, like the Clippers just can't miss. I mean, they've not missed in the second half. It's truly amazing. Clippers up 2 now. We're under 4 to go, or under 5 to go. Sorry. Boys, what do you guys say to the poll? Family out there, what do you say? I'm wondering who disagrees, and whoever does, I want to go to war with you a little bit tonight. And I'll end this by saying Ben Simmons has to feel the goddamn effing room. I can't say it enough. Feel the room. Feel the room. There's no Tobias. You got to step up. There's shots available. Don't rush everything. It's not hot potato. It ain't hot potato. Right? It's seriously not. It's not musical chairs. Somebody touch it. You gotta go. You know what I mean? Come on. It's basketball. Slow the game down for yourself. Okay? We talk about pump fakes, jab steps. Things have been around forever. Like literally forever. Like when Cass picks up a basketball for the first time, we're going to talk about jab steps and pump fakes. Are we kidding me? Are you kidding me? Everything. Dude, slow down. Slow down. And even when you catch it, the shoot in the post, it's like, whoa, can't get rid of it quick enough. Like, well, bro, you all right? I always want to check in on them. You good? Check your pulse. Check your pulse a little bit. Slow it down. Slow the heart rate down a little bit, Benjamin. But overall, defensively, he's played well tonight. But, I mean, what is that? You know, I love defense, but, like, it's never going to we'll talk about this later. It's never going to overshadow hot potato offense. Like, it's never going to overshadow. You got to have, like, 7 blocks a game and, like, 15 boards and, like, 8 steals for me to say, oh, look at that thing. Come on. It's hard to, you can separate the two and say, yo, guy's a damn good defender. But the offense is a problem. It's a problem. You can have it both ways, and that's where I have it. But to the poll, I don't think you can. So agree? Jake, go ahead. And then we'll circle the room, Johnny, and then Pete. And then we'll read off some of the comments because we already have 90. So stay hot.
But yeah, like Tom, you said earlier, I was going to agree with the poll, and I still am going to agree with the poll. But I mean, earlier on before we went live, I was like, okay, yeah, no problem. But I mean, does it sway me a little bit now that we're down? A little bit, but I think we can still hold on to it. I don't see anyone stopping this basketball team. No one can still stop Joel Embiid. And I just don't see how, unless Doc Rivers decides to sit more of his guys as the playoffs come closer. That's the only way I can really see us actually losing first place, but I don't see any way that we lose first place down the stretch.
All right. We got this fucking sign. It's unbelievable. It's like the stick I'm stuffing. It doesn't freaking stick. Sticks for like a week. Johnny, there's the pole stick. There's a grease stick. Are we clean sweeping it here? What do you say?
I'm going to say that the Sixers will retain first place for the rest of the year, mainly because I just don't think the Nets really care that much about it, to be honest. Like, the Sixers, they're going to – I feel like we're going to put Joel Embiid out there almost every game for the rest of the season, partly because I think they want him to win MVP, and 2, there's not that many back-to-backs really left. I don't think the Sixers play more than one left in this season. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think they do. And, I mean, maybe Fan Friday is just bad luck because last time we lost to the Pelicans when we were doing a live reaction. So, I mean, but I really want to see the Sixers close this one out, especially because the Clippers are down a man. They're short. And even though the Sixers have been winning, like, there has been some things, even though I'm going to agree to the poll, there have been certain things that I've been a little bit concerned about when I'm watching the game. That's all I'm going to say for now. Go ahead, Pete.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, why split up a winning team here, you know? Clean sweep, baby. I 100% think we're going to stay in this. I love this basketball team. I love what this team can be when it's healthy and when guys are all playing together. This team is 20-4 when all the stars are playing and everything?
Maybe 25,
Okay,
or something like that.
yeah, something like. All right, like this is a team that's hungry. This is a team that wants it. Like you can tell, Joel Embiid wants it. Ben Simmons clearly wants it. He's talking about how we're a champion. We could possibly win a championship this year. I don't disagree with him. I think it's 100% a championship caliber roster. Also, I don't know what the Nets want, because they'll play KD in weird games that don't really matter and not in number one seed games like against us. But then again, he's too busy fighting on Twitter about crap, and Kyrie's taking like 60 million personal days, and James Harden's like 2 to 4 weeks from being reevaluated. So like I have no idea what's going on with them. So yeah, I don't think they're worried about the number one seed. I kind of think they should be, because they're going to have to play a lot tougher teams if they're not the number one seed. Whereas if we end up getting it, we kind of luck into a team like the Charlotte and the Hawks and stuff like that if things roll our way. But, I like what this team can be. I like what I've seen from them. And, I have no doubt that we can outlast the Nets and get the number one seed.
On the KD topic, Pete, I'm going to play a devil's advocate that I really don't agree with, but I'm thinking this is their thought process. The Nets came into that back-to-back knowing that because of KD's injury that he had the calf tear or whatever. Because of his injury, they were saying, all right, KD, you're not going to play both of these back-to-back games. We need to make sure that you're healthy going into the playoffs, even though you've had millions of rest days already. But that's besides the point. Back-to-back, you're not going to play. So what are we going to do? We're going to have you play against the Sixers and sit against the Timberwolves, or are we going to lock up the guaranteed win that we can lock up for the standings? So I think that's what they did. They said, we'll have you play against the bad team so we can make sure we win this game, because even if you're in the lineup against the Sixers, we might still lose. So
no, that's sound logic, Johnny. Sorry, but there's just I have no idea what's going on with that. Like the Nets are just such a weird team. Like I think their whole trio has played like 5 to 6 games together, and I'm like, it just sounds a lot like the Clippers. And I like the team that has the chemistry and have played together heading into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, to me, they think they can just get away with anything.
They're gonna coast just right to the finals,
because they've always had one. This is the way they've operated. Like we're always gonna have one of our big three playing, and that's sort of how they've operated through the whole thing. And to me, that's almost a letdown game. The players on, especially on our side, but yeah, that's a big three by Shake there. Sixers up three, and we had
336.
I'll tell you in a sec.
No, I got. It's just not. I don't know why this didn't update.
I think Shake gave Kawhi a little bit of a stare down there. He's sitting on the bench.
It's weird because every game he has some big moment against the Clippers. I mean, he's not doing so hot tonight, but that's still a big dagger.
Nice. I think Andrew McCutchen just got an RBI.
McCutchen.
That's good news. But no, I mean, you got to figure out how to close out.
Mm-hmm.
But to the Nets, the Nets are going to be trouble. But to me, chemistry matters and playing together matters. And we'll see. Now tonight's game, people are going to talk about Kawhi not playing. Well, then I'm going to talk about Tobias and Dwight not playing. So it's
and Steph Curry didn't play.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
it was like a hip extension or something like that. I forget what it was.
I didn't realize that.
I've noticed this though from most NBA fans. When the Sixers play a game without main players, no one wants to hear it. But when the Sixers beat someone that's missing their main player, it's a Mickey Mouse win. It's an asterisk.
Yeah,
there's something up. It's always a lose situation in the mind of the national media when it comes to the Sixers.
Basically.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like when LeBron beats someone when they're hurt. It's what do you mean it doesn't count? It's a Mickey Mouse championship. But if someone else wins, and his guys are hurt, well, he should have rose up to the competition.
Exactly. And the fact that I'm actually surprised that we haven't. I think the Sixers just being the number 1 seed was the only possible way that ESPN couldn't run with the same headline every other day saying, is it time to split up Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons? Because they've been doing that for 3 straight years.
Oh, they'll do it again next. They'll do it every other week. Don't worry about it. Second, we could go to the finals and lose on like a last-second shot. And the first article in 2 weeks after people have gotten it out of the system will be from Windhorst or whoever wants to run with it. Can Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid play together, even though they have a 120 rating when they're on the court with each other?
Sixers up 99-94.
I don't think.
What am I slacking on, Jay? What am I slacking on? I'm right here, baby. Yeah. 7-0 run in the last 143. So, we talked about that last 5 minutes being so important. How can they continue? Can they continue?
Oh, big air ball. Big air ball.
I was like, stop. When I saw him jack that, I'm like, stop. If they make this, they just didn't miss the whole second half. Come on, Ben. Be aggressive.
God, Ben.
The terrible fucking pass. Damn it. Damn it. Late.
Let's go.
Hey, good day. Pomsy. And it wasn't Ben, it was Pomsy.
There's nothing worse than knowing that Ben Simmons is about to screw up and I haven't even seen it.
His defense has been aggressive all day, too.
It was a line drive, dude. That's like a pass that you need to be. You need to really get it up in the air and deep. That's got to go almost to the out of bounds marker.
And here we go. Oh, pass to Danny.
And
Oh, nice pass. Yeah.
Sixers up 5.
Entry. Maybe we need Howell Nettle to get the entry passes.
There you go.
D him up. Good D on George.
I'd love to bring Danny back.
You can't get backdoored there, Ben.
Wow.
Damn it. You can't get backdoor. Elite defender. He's got backdoor.
Not just elite defender, self-proclaimed defensive player of the year.
I mean,
come on, Joe.
Like in the jail cell right there. That's how he dropped the soap.
Danny Green.
Take it.
Dude, you just can't stop him. Okay?
No.
You can just hope to contain him. And if he gets to the bucket like he does, he goes to the foul line a million times.
Mm-hmm.
A million times. And when you're talking about late in games, and he makes them.
Yeah.
But they're 19-2 this year when he's made over 10.
Can we talk about how amazing? Like, there's one thing I've
14,
always
16.
critiqued Joel Embiid about, especially in late game scenarios, is double teams because he would used to fall for them every time, and he's been phenomenal this year getting out of double teams.
No, he's been great at it, Pete, and that was like a dog on a hardwood floor in the past. Like it's something he was never able to do well. He was like almost a rush job with it. Now he's learned to
Yeah, I would hate him. Anytime Joel would have the ball late in games, I would be petrified. Now it's like, I know what's coming.
101-96, boys. Joe just went and made 2 with the line.
I know the DX chop is coming after he hits a big shot now.
Well, rebound, damn it. Oh, ball.
I'll take it.
We'll take her. We'll take her. Joel Embiid with 36. Wow.
The thing is, like,
someone want to tell me anybody else who is the MVP?
Oh, good pass.
Joel Embiid, he has those games where you just look at him and you're like, wow, like this guy's insane. But like, if I'm gonna describe Joel Embiid,
that's been the season, the whole season.
I know.
You're just watching him and be like, wait a minute, he got 38 and 15. What the hell did that happen?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, literally,
he is the quietest 30 and 10, 30 and 15 guy I've ever seen.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Can we rebound, please?
He just walks into 30 and 10 in his sleep.
All right.
There you go.
3-point game. Stop.
You're
ahead of me, Jake. That a boy, Turkey. I told you to wait a second. God damn it. Give me half a second. Berkey with a big basket. Good look out by Ben.
Great pass.
And he's wide open. But
I was about to make a comment about Furkan missing an open 3.
Well, how about now Furkan missing free throws, which he loves doing late.
Yep.
But another great game by Furkan, too. Sorry. Another great game by Furkan.
Yeah, 3 of his last 4 have been pretty impressive.
What were you saying, Johnny?
I don't get how Furkan can be such a good like, I'm not going to call him a great shooter, but he's supposed to be a shooter. Like, your job is to shoot, and you can't shoot free throws. Like, I don't understand.
I mean, it's weird. It's weird, but it happens. I mean, for the last 2 years, he's probably like a 37, 38% 3-point shooter. And imagine paying that guy like $1 million a year, basically, that give you 9 points a game and like 37 to 39% from three. It's a pretty good deal.
Yep.
I just want to know if Furkan's going to show this in the playoffs, because as far as Brett Brown goes, Furkan was never able to do anything in the playoffs.
Also younger too, John.
All right, I got one for you. Like, who do you play in the playoffs? Do you play Furkan or do you play Matisse?
I would go with. It's tough, but I'm probably. It's a situational thing. Like,
yeah. Okay. That's a good answer.
Matisse, you cannot have Matisse when you need a bucket at all.
Right.
He's going to miss.
And he's been better with it. Like tonight he's been a little bit better with it. I mean, at least he shot 2 threes and he made one. Yeah. So I always say, like, if Matisse makes me 1 3 a game, I'm getting the best out of him, right? You know what I mean? So
if Burke can give me like 12 to 14 for the rest of the season, I'm gonna be hard pressed not to want to play him more.
Yeah, I agree.
It's gonna be hard to not put him out there.
Sorry, I assume the chat's going a little bit to the Phillies for a second. I guess Reese Hoskins has been a little struggle bus since Babe Ruth's great start. So we'll see. Make his adjustments back, but Phillies win. So that game's over.
Yep, just ended.
All right. Tim says, "Yep." So big win, 7-6. I mean, like we talked about before the show, we'll talk Phillies, but I agree with what Johnny said. I've been saying it until they. That's way too easy. Are you kidding me? Until they win on the road or show some consistency win on the road. Wins are great and I'm taking them, but they need to show me that for me to get like really excited.
Yeah, I understand.
Let's count down the rest of this. We got 35 seconds left. Joe kicked Matisse for 3. No.
Nope.
30 seconds left. Sixers up 4. Oh,
pass, shoot.
We got Tom on the
commentary. No.
Here we go. Why? Why? 20 and a half seconds left. 104, 103 Sixers.
So wide open. You could not be more wide open.
Good Lord.
I mean, I don't know why Matisse was in the corner.
Well, the back door and the inbound's atrocious. And obviously, like Matisse, you got wide open threes. I need you to make them. Wide open ones end the game. Then I can play you more. Right? I can play you more if you make them. Right? If you make them. So that's tough. Now you got to play the line game. But of course, Reggie Jackson makes a tough 3 and Matisse can't make a wide open 3. So, can you go and make 2 and hopefully get a goddamn stop here? But I don't care if the game's close. I don't care how they win it. Just win the basketball game.
Yeah.
We're not going to look back and be like, I remember that one game where, at stretch we won like 4 or 5 in a row, but we were only winning. We were coughing up leads. Like, yeah, I remember. Remember that we closed it? Like, that's what you want to say.
This one feels different, though. This one feels different than the Nets one, because after the Nets win, like, I know on the live stream you were saying like a win's a win, but I'm not gonna lie, like that left a sour taste in my mouth. But if we get the win here, I'm not gonna really care. Really,
you can be sour. You can be sour. You can be a little sour apple, a little sour patch kid. You know what I mean? That's fine. But
I feel like this is different than like if we win this and in this fashion, like at least we were missing some guys. Like at least with the Nets game, like we had all our guys. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, like. It's just what it mainly is just a bad look, right? It's just a bad look.
Wow, what are they doing? Wow,
what happened?
They waited that long to foul. Sorry, they waited. They were hoping that we were going to get it to Ben, and we gave it to all 4 guys but Ben. All 4 guys but Ben touched it, and it was like hot potatoes. And honestly, they're idiots. They let 11 seconds run off the clock.
Yep.
Why didn't they just foul away from the play?
I don't know. They waited all the way for Danny Green. Now Danny's got to go to the goddamn line and make 2, or we're going to have issues. Oh, come on, Danny. Jake, do not tell me first. I will
mute my mic.
Oh, come on, Danny. Be the veteran right now. Need a veteran to closer. Come on. Need you to go Barry too. They're free. They are free. One. Let's go. One more. Come on. Because if you don't make this, they're definitely making a 3. If you don't make this, you can book a 3.
Yeah, no doubt.
But no, I understand why you could be like sour after the Nets game, but that's on them for not playing their guys. Like coughing up the lead doesn't bother me. Like that's just the NBA. Like you won the game. You showed that you could dominate them early on, like you did.
Yeah,
Same here.
You just left our the bench in too long, in my opinion. It wasn't like our starters were in the whole time and they blew the lead.
You thought you'd get away with it, which happens. Yep. You know what I mean? And you got to see what these guys are made of too.
Yep.
And you let down too. You let down when you're up 20-something. It's just the way it goes. It's not an excuse.
Yeah, it ebb and flows, man.
I would rather not do this consistently. Hey, boy. Yeah. All right. Let me get a stop.
Paul George
made it.
After threes in the Wells Fargo Center before, so
9.8 left.
Paul George done what, John?
Remember that game when Jimmy Butler made like the game-winning steal, and then Paul George hits a bank shot, 4-point play for the win?
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that one. I appreciate you,
Johnny. Ray of sunshine.
I just remember because I was at it.
Paul George, 37. Joel, let's see what are they? 19 for 38 from 3. They shot 50% from 3 tonight. Jesus, Madomskis. 50% from 3. They shot 45% from the field, but 50% from 3. You can't even make it up.
No.
Like what happened? And we shot 31% from 3. So no bueno.
We were jacking them up though.
Yeah,
especially in the first half.
We had 12 turnovers. They have 19. So
it's a good night.
That's good. They have 6 steals. We have 13. Rebounds, they have 50. We have 56. So that's something we didn't do well the other night. So good to go out rebound the team. But this game's not over yet. So we gotta hope somebody wants to miss a 3 here.
Yep.
Oh my God, 6 for 50 on game tying or go ahead field goal attempts. That average. Oh my God.
Let's know where they find these.
It's a lot of money for a closer. Good.
Yeah, I'm gonna need pandemic to rim it out.
Who's covering them? All right. Matisse has got the inbound. Danny have them? No. Ben does. Making it hard. Make it hard. Make it hard. Make it hard. Good.
Oh my God.
Stop, Jake. Good man. Oh, get on the floor. Get on the floor. Everybody but Matisse. Don't give it to Ben. Yes. Let's go. Look at my big fella. Look at my big fella. I love him.
So behind.
Let's go. I don't care how you win basketball games. Just keep on winning them, baby. Keep on winning them because I really want this season to come down, right? The Nets losing out by 1 game for the first in the Eastern Conference, having to face Milwaukee, and it all goes back to your little rest party you have because you're scared of the Timberwolves, you fucking losers. I can't wait. I can't wait. Just win me basketball games. I said it when the Phillies. I said it when Pete's late.
Appreciate you joining us.
I was a few seconds behind. Leave me alone.
look at Joel Embiid. Look at him doing this.
Welcome to the future. It's quite nice.
Welcome, guys. Clap your hands, everybody. Philadelphia. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can't do much more because of copyright.
Yeah.
Don't want that.
Definitely don't want to get hit with my voice too. I mean, not a voice of an angel.
No.
I'm sure you have a lovely singing voice.
The voice of a pariah right there.
There's some game stats for you. Joe, 36, another 30 pluser. So, I mean, that's the MVP in the league. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Yep. All right. Furkan, a big night, 18, 5 for 12 from 3, 41%. That's a great night. Ben, 5 for 9, 55% from the field, which is efficient as shit. 12 points, 9 boards, which is where he needs to be all the time, and 6 assists, and 2 steals and 2 blocks. So turnovers, he has 3. So not terrible. I'd rather be a little lower than that, but when you have the ball in your hands, that happens. But overall, fine. Danny Green with 11, the 2 big free throws to close the game out, and you were able. And Tyrese Maxey had a little run where he gave you 9. So you had some other production. Shake Shake only 9 tonight, but guess what? Everything was good enough to get a win. And a 106, 103 win, and the Nets won, so you still hold a game. You still hold that game, and that one game is going to be extremely important moving forward. But I want your guys' opinion. I mean, is Joel Embiid the MVP of the league?
If he keeps going at this momentum, Tom, I don't see why he can't be. To be honest with you, they talking
had
about
him number 2 in MVP rankings thus far today. The last time I checked, behind Jokic.
Yeah, and they were talking about on ESPN, like literally right before the game, about if he's still an MVP and how him missing 18 games can affect obviously his MVP contention. But if he keeps playing this way until the postseason, there's no doubt in my mind he can't be the MVP. There's no doubt in my mind at all.
Here's my thing about Jokic, right? He's having a phenomenal offensive season, something that hasn't been done really ever. His offensive rating when he's on the floor is like 130, which is absolutely insane. But the thing is, with Jokic, now that Jamal Murray's injured, if the Nuggets start to slide a bit and they start to lose some games, I think Joel is really he's right there to take the MVP. Like, if you're not in the top 4 seeds, generally speaking, of your conference, you can't be the MVP. I'm just sorry. That's just how it is. That's not
exactly true, Johnny. That's not true.
I mean, Russell Westbrook is like the one outlier. Everyone else has been in the top 4.
I'm just saying. But yeah, like my thing with it is if without Murray there to help him out at times, his numbers might start to slide a bit because he's going to be trying to put it on him. So if that happens and Joel continues winning and putting up his stats because he still has Ben and Tobias and everyone else, you're looking at a possible MVP.
But if it can also work the other way, like if Jokic completely surges and the Nuggets go on a crazy win streak without Murray, that's even more of a narrative for them to push for him as MVP.
That's true, but I don't exactly like the chances of that happening. So, yeah, especially in the West. If this was in the East and he was all by himself, like, he can go play some shitty teams like the Knicks and guys like that, or the Cavaliers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's not really teams like that for the most part in the West, and they're playing primarily a lot of good basketball teams.
EJ, I don't really know how to say that, but I that comment is like kind of interesting because Jokic, even though he did, in my opinion, in 2017-18 season, rob Embiid of getting first team All-NBA. Like, let's be honest, Embiid should have gotten first team All-NBA that season, and it was not even close. I don't know how the hell Jokic got it. Like, the stats are not even comparable. But I'll leave that aside.
Yeah, and this is what I hate about like the media, right? Because they have a lot to say as far as like a lot of this stuff goes. And when it comes to like MVP and first team All Pros and stuff like that, or like All-Star games or Pro Bowls, whatever sport you want to talk about, it's a popularity contest. That's all it is.
Basically,
it's a popularity contest. They go by names and whatever. And I'm not saying some players aren't deserving, but then you have other players that have had better years than some of the players that have gone to All-Star games and Pro Bowls and stuff like that. And it's just the players that have had lesser seasons always seem to go there consistently, while players that are younger and newer to the league always tend to get pushed aside. I'm not saying Joel's young. I mean, he's relatively young, but it's just insane to me how that whole process goes. I just hate the whole popularity contest idea of it. What you just
said is literally what makes this comment interesting, because in my opinion, and I think most people's opinions, Joel Embiid is a more popular player than Nikola Jokic is.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, Jokic has gotten the benefit of the doubt over Embiid when it comes to voting. So I'm not sure how that's going to work, like especially since we just saw ESPN put out a poll. Not everyone that votes on MVP is from ESPN, but a lot of them are. And they put out a poll showing that 90 of 110 votes were for Jokic, which I think is absurd.
Oh, it's absolutely absurd.
But I mean, I get if you have him as a majority, 90 of 110. That's got to be at least 60-50. Like, come on.
Yeah, I think as he continues to drop 35 plus a night, and ends up being the number one team in the East, I think it's going to be hard for them not to vote him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they'll take into account, he missed games, but when he played, he was flat out fucking dominant. And that should matter, and wins should matter. What's their difference in wins when he plays and doesn't play?
Mm-hmm.
And other guys have missed a lot of time too. I mean, the only guy who hasn't is Joker, and that's great. But if his team's 4th or 5th in the West, I don't know. That's not MVP worthy.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Especially like at this point, I think everyone, unless you're delusional, at this point, everyone recognizes that the MVP is between Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic. No one else is in the conversation at this point.
Basically.
Pretty much. Like Steph Curry's putting up MVP numbers, but he's like barely in the playoffs right now. So
they're in the ninth. They're in the 9th seed. Let's cut that right now.
Yeah. So he can't be considered.
Congratulations, you're putting up great points on a bad team.
Well, and I think I was looking at the MVP leaderboard, like the top 10 or whatever. I know Ryan was talking about it last night. I think LeBron's like he's been out for I think almost 2 months, and he's at what, like 6 or 7. The fact that he's still on that list is absurd.
LeBron's got to be on the list just to make the list popular. Just like Luka Doncic is number 3. How the hell is Luka Doncic number 3?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think they probably just put LeBron on there just because he was phenomenal. He was playing phenomenal before he went down.
Yeah, I don't know. Like if you've missed as much time as LeBron has, you shouldn't be on the top. You shouldn't be on the top 10 list. I get it, LeBron.
Has LeBron missed more games than Joel did this season?
Right now, LeBron's missed less games than Joel. So
okay. All right, thank you.
Has he missed less than Joel?
Joel's missed 18. LeBron's missed 15 right now. So
all right. So once he gets
past, a lot more.
Yeah, once he's out of 18, then I imagine he'll be out of the top 10.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. Yep, you're right.
But like it feels like it's longer because it's come on a lot of more bunch than Joel's, where it's more.
I think
Joel had 2 instances where he missed like a few on like some hammy thing, and then his most recent injury.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, COVID gate.
That was one of them. Yeah.
So he missed some games there. He missed some like back-to-backers, and then obviously the injury. But I would say like 15, 18. That's like with Tom Lucas said, like that's similar. That's about the same. But Joe's numbers are better than LeBron's.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Joe's dominance is right now better than LeBron's. And that's not a slight at LeBron. You know what I mean? It's just a guy who's averaging 30 a night. You know what I mean? So
I feel like when he was playing, it was they compared it a little bit differently just because he played in the West. That's exactly why I feel like they probably compare Jokic a little bit more because he was playing in the West.
I'm really disappointed in the fact, and we all are, that Embiid went through that knee injury, because if he hadn't gone through that, this is a no-brainer. This is a lock for MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But it's not.
You're right. And I don't really care about the MVP. Like,
I was just going to say
it would just be nice. Like it'd be like a fun little thing to have.
It would be nice. Like it's just something that can build on his Hall of Fame career. You know what I'm saying? Like players that have that MVP award, that shows that in your generation you were a big time, like Hall of Fame level player.
Not always.
Championships help too. Championships also help.
True.
Like Derrick Rose won an MVP, and I don't think he'll ever make the Hall.
I mean, the NBA Hall of Fame is pretty damn easy to get into. I could see him getting in.
You might have to wait a little bit, but
you got to be like a 5-time All-Star, then they'll let you in. Like literally, that's how the NBA Hall of Fame works. It's like the opposite of the MLB. The MLB will find any scrutiny to hold you out, but the NBA, if you had 5 good years, you're in there.
I mean, yeah, but roses are like they're so spread out.
I see what you're saying.
I don't know how anybody can say like this is my issue. I don't care how many points they were up. It doesn't matter in essentially an NBA game. What took place in the last 5 minutes? The last 5 minutes of this basketball game, we closed the game out. We went on a 7 or 9-0 run at one point. So I mean, we played good basketball down the stretch when it mattered most. All right, Joel.
You controlled like 90. You controlled this game for like 98% of the time. Like,
yep.
Both nights, like the Nets lost. I mean, win. Sorry, because it felt like a loss. The people, but even that one, like you controlled the game the whole time. You didn't give up a lead. This one, you gave up a lead, but you still felt like you controlled the game the whole time, though.
It's a quality win, like against a quality opponent. Even without Kawhi, it's a quality win.
Yeah, exactly. And like if the Clippers, this is how the NBA works. Like if the Clippers didn't come back and make a push at all in this game, and the Sixers just blew them out the gym the whole time, that's an indictment on the Clippers, not an indictment on the Sixers. The Sixers, in every NBA game, there's going to be runs for both teams. It's just how it works.
100%.
Yeah, they shot 50% from three. I said this earlier, like they didn't miss from three, and that's what helped them go on their big run. So it happens. Like they have Paul George, they have shooters. They're good. They're a damn good basketball team. They're only missing Kawhi. I'm not saying only, but even without Kawhi, they're a damn good basketball team. So they've won plenty of games without Kawhi, and they're winners of 7 in a row coming into this.
Yep.
You just want to get out with a W, and it's another big dub. It's a win. It's a freaking win. And we didn't have to bias. We didn't have Dwight. We don't even know if we're out George Hill, but we're missing guys too. So to be able to go and win a basketball game at home that you're favored to win, that's wins to me. That's wins. Like in the standing, it's not going to matter at the end of the year how you won your damn game. And you had a Phillies win on top of it. It's big.
Yep.
Yeah, at the end of the year, if we secure the number 1 seed, the NBA, you can't go to the NBA and be like, they won that one game when Kawhi wasn't in, so that doesn't count. And they won that one game against the Nets, but like KD and Harden weren't playing, so those don't count. That's not how this works.
Yep.
At the end of the season, whoever has the most wins, it doesn't matter whether they're close or not, or you let up a lead. A win is a win. Whoever has the most wins at the end of the season, you're the number 1 seed. Case closed.
Yep.
Yeah, and we'll see how the fans allowing fans will progress when we get into playoffs. So as far as the Wells Fargo Center's like seating, but something that I absolutely love about this era of Sixers basketball, even from when Joel and Ben were rookies, was that we don't lose games at home. Like we rarely ever lose games at home. Even in the playoff series that they've played, when we're at home, it is a hell of a hard task to beat this team, especially because of the fans. And that 1 seed is a huge advantage. Massive.
Yep.
And surprisingly, we're a nice road team this year, which also makes me feel very comfortable heading into the playoffs. Like
feels like it's been a while, right?
I know, right? What were we like 4 and like 20 or something last year on the road?
I think it was like 9 and 21.
Yeah, I know we had a losing record.
It was worse than the Knicks.
It was bad. And this year we're playing way better on the road, obviously, and we're playing great at home. So that's the definition of a damn good basketball team. So, people can be worried and people can get all caught up into how they're winning basketball games. That's fine. I'm just going to keep counting wins and say, you know what, Nets, you can go see Milwaukee in the second round. Simple as that.
It's not an easy matchup for the Nets. The Milwaukee Bucks are a much better team than they have been the last 2 years, and you have
fun with playoff Harden. You have fun with playoff Harden.
Yeah.
Like, because here's the thing: if there's a team that Harden for some odd reason will cough it up against, I 100% could see it being the Bucks or like a team like Miami.
I mean, Miami's got that killer mentality that would just turn him and possibly Kyrie into shrivels.
But they're so hit or miss. Like there's nights where they're on 100%, and there's nights where you're just like, are you even going to be in the playoffs? That's what I feel about Miami.
And again, like what we talked about the Sixers, I feel like a lot of people act like the Sixers are the only team that have ever had a bad loss ever. Like, do we not remember the Nets losing to the Cavaliers in a double overtime when all of them were there?
Big three first night, the big three there, Johnny.
The big three, and Colin Sexton took them down. So like,
welcome to Sexland.
I'm tired of the Sixers. Like, yeah, I'm annoyed as a fan when I see the Sixers lose to the Pelicans or lose to the Magic. But at the same time, you got to understand context. You got to understand.
You're asking too much there, Johnny. You're asking too much.
You're asking people to think.
Philly is not the team, the place to have an argument or a discussion with after a loss. I can give you all the facts and figures. It's a loss. This is why we lost. I'm like, but that's not why we lost. Like, it doesn't matter. It's the worst loss in the history of losses. Ben could drop 40 in a loss, and they'd be like, he's the worst player ever. I want TJ McConnell as my starting point guard.
Well, he actually did do that.
Yeah, some people did do that. Some people did want TJ McConnell.
I will never, ever, on God's green earth, I'll forget that some guy told me, and this is a real statement, that if TJ McConnell was a starting point guard for an NBA team, they'd win 50-plus games every year.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I don't even engage that.
Yeah, no.
I want the drugs he's on.
But 22 and 5 at home. 22 and 5 at home.
Okay.
17 and 12 on the road, which is extremely good. And winners of 4 in a row, but we'll get mad about how they're winning. Okay. All right, like that's fine.
People scoreboard, that's all I have to say. It's like that Phillies Braves game a few days ago. I don't care what happened. I just look at the scoreboard. If it says we won, we won. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not going to be a Jeffrey Lurie and a Howie Roseman to Doug Pederson being like, you won.
Much.
You only won by a field goal. So, like, did you really win? You only won by 3 points. It's not like we wouldn't say that's a win.
So what? I don't care if you ran for 200-plus yards and you won by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
We didn't throw it enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And I think Tom's going to get us into some Eagles talk soon, but I'm just going to say this. This was even before, like, people that know me know my feelings on Doug Pederson. Before I was even a part of A2D, I think that me and a lot of people in this city, from all the news that we've heard, owe an apology to the head coach of the Super Bowl winning Philadelphia Eagles and Doug Pederson. Yeah. This dude, whether it was the media, whether it was Howie and Lurie setting him up to be scrutinized every week, he wasn't perfect. He didn't call the most Bill Parcells plays every single week, but at the same time, it's not all his fault. And that has been blatantly obvious when you don't let him pick his coaching staff, when you don't let him pick the players that are even on the damn field. Like, we ran a Super Bowl head coach out of town. We better hope Sirianni is the right guy for the job because we let a guy walk out the door who just won a Super Bowl. Sean Payton hasn't won a Super Bowl in 10, 12 years, but he's still a damn good coach.
I don't think anyone is like 100% blaming.
Quentin, stop it.
I'm
pass too much.
Dougie P, are you sure? What? This is Mr. Run up the middle every play. Mr.
I mean, he was told to. So I mean,
that's what it was.
Don just said it. I mean, it's what happened.
We saw what he had offensive creativity in 2017.
But I'm going to say one last thing about the Sixers, and we can start some of a rapid fire, and I'm sure that's going to create conversation too. And we'll read off everybody's stuff. But you know, I've never, and I get it. It's every fan base to a point, but you won a basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
And people are actually in this chat again tonight, complaining and saying it's false hope to believe in this team. False hope. They're the number 1 seed in the East. Where's the false hope at? Like, if they're losing games like this, like they've done in years past, right? Then there's major concern, people. Yeah. Like last year, the year before, they would give up games like this and they wouldn't close it out. They would not close it out. And that was the difference of them, right? Because we were like, who the hell is our closer? We've had these conversations. Now they're actually closing these tight games out. The teams come back on them, all right? And we're complaining. And we're counting them as like losses. We're like getting on other people like, oh, you shouldn't believe. Well, if you believe in the goddamn Philadelphia 76ers, do us all a favor at A2D. Pound that like button.
I knew it.
All right? And do whatever else you got to do. Share it out. Get it to the masses.
I was going to go there, too.
Do whatever the fuck you got to do, but pound that goddamn like button because I'm sick and tired of this shit. We're winning basketball games and we're complaining. You know what? Complain when we won 10 games a goddamn year. That's what you should be fucking complaining. Complain when we traded Markelle Fultz for Jonathan Simmons, who can't even make a team in China. Right? You complain about things. Complain about this stupid shit. Don't start complaining about winning basketball games with 16 games left in the season against damn good basketball teams and star players that were Kyrie Irving and Paul George are star players in this league, and you're able to win a game. Shut the fuck up.
Tom, can I say something about that, what you just said about Fultz?
Technically, we traded Fultz for Maxey, but go on, Johnny.
Well, yeah, that pick turned into Maxey, but that Fultz trade does piss me off. Like, in my opinion, I was a Fultz believer. I was a Fultz fan. We completely disregarded the fact that this dude had a serious injury. He had an injury, whether or not we want to talk about it. Like, yeah, he forgot how to shoot after he was healthy. He had a big confidence issue, but he was the number 1 pick for a reason. That was a bad trade. You gave up on a talent when he was 21 years old, and if
it wasn't.
If we had him right now, I bet you Doc could find a role for him. I guarantee.
Here's the thing: you have to want to be here, Johnny, and I 100% see what you're saying.
No, and a side of no, and an appetizer of no, and an everything with a piece of no. Okay, you can trade them all you want. I don't care about trading them, Pete. This is what everybody's missing. You can trade them all you want. Trade them away. Okay, but you got out of all the people, all the talent on that roster of the Magic, right? Out of all them players, you got the fucking guy who can't play. So you can trade him all you want, but you can't trade him and get nothing back. So I'll never agree. I'll agree that it's okay to trade him because that's just the way it is, right? Right? If things get sour, then you deal them. But you dealt him for a guy who can't even play?
Exactly. Not Terrence Ross, not Fournier, not Mo Bamba, none of them. Jonathan.
All right, I'll counter. Let's say Maxey turns into like a 6-time, 8-time All-Star. Like, are we ever going to talk? Are we ever really talking about Markelle Fultz again?
No, no, we're not. But like that, you know why Maxey's here? Daryl Morey did that. Elton Brand should not get credit for Maxey being.
You know, Elton made the trade with the conditions that we get that pick, right?
Yeah, I know he did that, but we
Stop it.
No, I'm not saying it's a good trade. I'm just saying,
Pete, we didn't even know we would get that pick. We got lucky to even have that pick in the first place. Mike Muscala gave us a pick. That's what happened.
Muscala. Jesus Christ.
God bless him.
Forgot about Moose.
I like Moose.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care. I don't care about trading them. I care about the way you went about it. And that's all that matters to me, or you should never drafted them then. You should never drafted them. But to the losers out there that can't accept wins and don't know what it takes to actually win games, you're idiots and you shouldn't watch sports. I mean, that's as nice as I can be about it. Like, you can have concerns. You can absolutely have concerns. That's fine. But you're like saying it's like the same old thing. We ain't talking about the same old thing. Our best player is playing on like a man on a mission. And you guys don't see that? The negative people out there don't see that? The guy is growing into a dominant force in this league. He's growing into it at 27 years old. All right? Growing into the prime years of his career. And you idiots can't see that. You guys can't see at the end of the game who the closer is?
It's not even close to what he was like a year ago.
Not even close.
There isn't a guy in this league right now. And I'll say it. I don't care. This isn't homerism. This is nothing. This is factual. There isn't a guy in this league that I'd rather have the ball in late in games more than Joel Embiid. There isn't one guy. There isn't one guy because he's a big man. That's even more of a reason. And because you can't foul him because he'll go 88% like you did tonight on your ass. 88%. 20-2 when he makes over 10 free throws. 20-2. And he's come on.
Like, if this was a year ago, Joel Embiid with the ball in his hands late in game would scare the shit out of me. Joel Embiid in a double team would scare the living crap out of me. This is not. He doesn't even look like the same guy anymore. He is going to the line. He is driving. He is dishing. He is hitting threes. He is passing the ball out of doubles. He is doing what he needs to do, and having that Mamba mentality, as everyone likes to say, when the game's on the line. Like, come on, like it's not even a question. Like, he doesn't even look like the same player to what he was last year or a few years ago. Like, he's a killer. Like, that's what he is. He's just straight up, stone cold, lion killing son of a bitch.
And this is what takes time in the NBA. Guys got to grow into it, right? Or not grow into it, one or the other. But the NBA, like other sports, unlike other sports, you can see the talent and guys not fully have it all together. and then you can watch them when they do. And I truly believe, don't even count last year because I don't count last year because of the way it all went down, right? So it's almost like just like an asterisk. It doesn't count. I'm going to go back to the year before because that's really the year that matters to me in the process. And that loss haunts him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think earlier on last year, it bothered him, and you could see it still was affecting him, right? But I think as soon as like the accountability came in the house and the better play calling and the better offensive scheme, and they were able to actually run an offense through him, right? You've watched him grow.
Yeah. In
terms of what Pete talks about out the double team, his ability to get to the rim and get to the line. I mean, what you're watching right now is you're watching greatness grow. And that's fun. And soak it in. Soak it in. And I don't know how anybody stops this man in the playoffs. I mean, everybody tries everything to do to slow him down. And this dude's still going to walk out with 30. You can do everything in your power to slow him down. And like they talked tonight on the broadcast, you want to double him, you're playing with fire because there's a lot of guys who can shoot the three on this team.
Yep.
Tom, exactly what you were saying about people complaining about a win. Soak it in. I'm going to repeat what you just said. We are watching a all-time great season from our best player. And why don't we just enjoy the ride? Who knows? We may not win the title. We may not make the finals. We don't know what's going to happen. Right now, what you can do is enjoy a damn good basketball team and a damn good player. That's all you can do.
No, but that's very well said. But I think the other thing, too, that people aren't talking about as much, it goes to show how big it was getting Doc Rivers in here. Because if everyone remembers how much I criticized us giving Tobias Harris the max contract, I killed it. I hated it. And he didn't really show us when he was here for like a couple years before Doc got here. You didn't see that guy that we traded for when he was with the Clippers. And now that Doc's here, he's having the best year of his career along with Joel Embiid. So it just goes to show, obviously they're having great years and it's fantastic, but just having Doc, I think is huge. And just not even Doc, this coaching staff as a whole. It's just a huge transformation. Yeah, that's it. Sam Cassell. Forgot about. Oh, and I think that's an underrated coach here too. I that's one that they don't talk about much.
No, I thought he had a chance to be our head coach. I would have loved that.
Yep.
I thought he was going to be LA's coach. I swore that was going to happen. I thought Ty Lue was going to come here and be an assistant.
Me too.
It almost, if people remember it, I think it almost did get there though.
Man, can you imagine that? Like seriously, Ty Lue somehow, some way associate with the Sixers.
Tom Lucas, I was a Brett supporter because I know players win in this league, but you know what the funny thing is? It's never the guy who starts it. There's another guy who comes in and
finishes
and takes the young players and they go to that next level, right?
Yep.
Always another coach. Just like how it works. It's weird. Unless you're Pop and you've been somewhere forever. But like
Jackson.
Yeah, like it's usually how it goes. So Doc's the perfect guy because everybody's going to listen to what Doc has to say. Everybody's going to listen to Sam Cassell. Everybody's going to listen to the veterans on this team. I love it. 35 likes. I know. Come on, pound that like button. Todd's saying it. Pound the like over on YouTube. Hit the subscribe. Help get us to 10K. All right? The best Sixers talk you're going to get in the fucking country. And now we're going to do some other shit for you. All right? Such a good time. I'll get some rapid fire questions. They aren't necessarily going to be rapid fire, but you guys know what I mean. So I'll start it. I'll start at question one because it is related to the Sixers. Is this season the best chance for the Sixers to win a championship? I don't think it's the best season, the best chance.
No, I don't think so. But again, I mean, maybe you could definitely make an argument for it, but I don't think so because I think this team is going to get much better as the years go on, and Joel's going to get better, and hopefully Ben actually develops some type of offensive game in the next season or two. And I feel like we've been saying that for 5 years. So
so true. Saying that forever. But you're right. I don't think this year because this year I had him as an Eastern Conference Final contender. Like all in, you got to win it or it's a bust. No, I've been yelling at Joel Embiid's got 6 great years left in him. 6 great years. Absolutely got 6 straight years. Now, can Ben develop even more? I'm going to say no, this isn't their best chance. If they continue to draft well and develop talent and bring in the right pieces and bring back the right guys, I think this team's in great shape moving forward.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think that this is the best chance to win the title. And we just have no idea like what's going to happen in the NBA because players all the time want, like every year there's someone that wants out. Every year there's a star that's going to leave. There's going to be some type of big trade in the offseason. Like, do we really think that the NBA is going to have an offseason ever that's going to be like quiet? No. It's just not going to happen. Like, every year it's what the league wants. They want player movement. They want drama. And I feel like we just can't really say when the Sixers will have the best chance of winning. Like right now, we know that they're a good team, but I think in the future, if Joel Embiid, like how much better can he really get? Like if he gets better than this, like
sky's the limit.
He can get better. He can definitely get better.
Well, you know what else is important? Real quick, like more of Doc being able to put the culture together. You know what I mean?
I feel like, though, I might say this and I may ruffle Pete's feathers a bit.
What? No.
One of the reasons
it's not hard.
Why I feel like the Sixers next year potentially would have a better chance to win the title, there's just something telling me. My gut tells me that Ben Simmons will not be a Sixer next year. No matter what.
Sounds like you need gallbladder surgery.
My gut tells me that he won't be on the team. But I also don't think Daryl's going to make a trade where we don't win. Daryl's not a guy that's going to make a bad trade. So if he's gone, we're a better team. I can guarantee you that.
It depends on who we get. That's my only thing. Like, I get where you're coming from, Johnny, but
trade for Damian Lillard, that's a different conversation. And I'm like, okay, let's have some fun.
Exactly. If that happens, that's
like one of like 2 guys I'd be like okay with.
Dame Lillard would be a dream scenario. I don't think it's going to happen, but if that happened, then that would be an ultimate perfect situation.
I don't think he's getting traded.
No, I don't think so either.
They're going to fall on their face in the playoffs for that to happen. If they go in Eastern Conference Finals, they're not getting traded.
Yeah.
I mean, but earlier than that, then I think
Well, Tom, second round. If we lose in the second round, that's not good enough. He's out.
Maybe that's a chance. I give that a higher percent chance than I do of anything longer than that. Like if they go to the Eastern Conference Finals and lose, he's not
happening.
I would agree with that, especially like we just need to see progression. That's what we want to see. We've been to the first round. We've been to the second round. It's time to win 2 rounds. It's time to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Anything short of that is a failure.
You'll get no disagreement from me.
And I agree with the refs tonight. I know a lot of people are saying that. David says it. A lot of people are saying it. They've been bad the last two games, in my opinion.
The tech on Embiid was awful at the beginning of the game. That was awful.
Horrible. Passion says Cork start over Curry. No, I like Cork.
No.
Yeah, no.
So
you're 20. What are you? 22-5, 22-4, 22-5 is your starting roster. Like, and there's only like a handful of games left. Don't mess that up. Like, keep the chemistry going. Like, look, I like Korkmaz a lot, but like he's so streaky. Like he can have 3 or 4 games where he's on fire, and then the next game he could have like 0 points. Like,
yeah, for sure. All right, so I got one more Sixers one for you guys. Ben Simmons' offense will show up come playoff time. Agree or disagree?
I'm gonna disagree just because of just recent history, but I hope so. I hope so. If he decides to turn the page in the playoffs, then we're winning a chip. If he decides to become aggressive consistently and he's scoring like theoretically 20 something a night or even like 16 a night, we're winning a chip. That's the hill I'm going to die on. If he decides to be aggressive and wake up offensively in the playoffs, we're winning a chip.
Yeah, I'm going to keep this short so that I don't harp on Ben too much because we just won a game. Disagree. He has never shown up in the playoffs. I don't know why it would change now.
Yeah, no.
Peter, go ahead for your son before I go.
I'll disagree because I want to have faith in my guy, and I have to believe that he's going to turn the corner this year. I have to believe that this team together is going to bring that out in him come playoff time, and he's going to do what he's supposed to do, and he's gonna have his decent offensive numbers like he usually has, his 15 to 16 a night, 9 assists, possibly 10 boards. He's going to get his steals and everything else. And he's going to do enough to help us get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and whatever happens, happens.
Sounds like a semi-cop out. Yes. Show up to me is like 15 a night.
Yeah, that's not happening.
So I'm going to go play devil's advocate and say he does show up in that form. He does average 15 a night come playoff time. So I'm going to say that doesn't mean his offense is showing up. That just means he's doing what I fucking tell him he needs to do every night. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying, oh yeah, it's showing up. He's averaging 20 a night. No, will it show up where he averages 14 or 15? I gotta hope so. So out of hope and out of prayer, we'll have a prayer service. That's what we'll do. On the Fan Friday before the postseason begins, we will have a personal prayer party, and everybody can come on the street and pray with us, and we will pray that Ben Simmons averages 15 plus a game during the playoff. All right?
Sounds good.
Prayer service.
Sounds good.
Because that's the only chance we had. Just like the only chance we had of Embiid's knee being okay was a prayer. We resurrected a torn ACL. That's what we did. Like, absolutely we did. I mean, Jamal Murray compared to Joel Embiid's injury look completely different. And Joel's looks heinous. And Jamal Murray's like, what did you do? You know what I mean? So, hey, thank you, God. We trusted the process.
Yep.
Paying. Look at us, Pete. I told you. Maybe I do agree with you.
There we go. On the just side, come and see in the light.
No, I ain't seen no goddamn light, because the problem is with you is you talked about everything else but scoring. You talked about everything else but scoring, even though you agree, right? Didn't he? I see Daddy. I see Dad. He talked about everything else. Oh, he's going to rebound and blah, 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 blah. And he's going to be.
I said he's going to score at least 15 up.
I think that Ben Simmons, even though it's fair to call him it's fair to call Ben Simmons a playoff underperformer. I don't know if I can call him a choker because he's
just posting the numbers. Can somebody pull that up for me while John's talking? Sorry, John.
Yeah, they're not great, but Ben has had good postseason games before. In the Raptors series, Game 6 he had over 20 points, and I think Game 4 or Game 3, one of those two games, he had a 20-point game. So it's all about he can do it. It's just, will he do it consistently? And in Ben's career, the word consistent and Ben Simmons don't go in the same sentence.
Let's see here.
Well, I mean, I hear you, but remember, he is now older in this process. So will start to come out.
But he's that's the problem though.
He averages 15 a game.
How much?
15.
All right. Well, he's
in 22 playoff games, he averages 15, 6.8 assists, and and 8.1 rebounds. So.
He's seemingly regressed from the point that he was at during that Toronto, during the season where we had played Toronto in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. So, with Toronto, if Joel didn't have such an awful stomach ache, would that even be a discussion?
No. There's no discussion. The discussion is that we're talking about a playoff series from 2 years ago. You know what I mean? I got to talk. I mean, that's a long time ago.
But he didn't play last year. So.
I know it's Peter. I'm sticking up for the guy, so shut up for a second and allow me to actually stick up for your son for one. You can play devil's advocate with Johnny and have fun with it. That's 2 years ago. So, I mean, John, I got to hope, right? And that's all I'm doing. I don't disagree with any goddamn thing you said. Not a single word you said do I have like major at all disagreements with, because that's the trend. That's the facts of the goddamn matter. Now, my hope and my prayer is guys get older and they grow. Can you grow can them averages grow that Pete said? Can you become maybe 17? I don't know. But if he can at least give us those numbers, this team's going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah. If it doesn't, we could be in a little bit of trouble. I'll say this, though. Everything's different because we can talk about Ben all we want. It's about Joe. And I'll leave it. Not as much about Ben as it's about Joe. How dominant is Joe? How good is Joe through a 6-7 game series when adjustments get thrown at you all the time? All right? It's not like you play a team once and then you go play another team. You know what I mean? It's all about focusing and trying to slow down their best players. So if that does happen, and there is double teams, right? Can guys be impactful? You know what I mean? Can guys hit open threes? That's going to be the question mark. I think Ben is going to do what Ben does, per se, which is like he'll have a game where we win, John, like game 4 against Toronto, right? And then he'll probably have a game where we maybe still win, where he has like 10 points, right? But I believe that he'll probably have that inconsistency, to Johnny's point earlier, but I'm hoping that he can just grow it into, say we play 7-game series, right? And 3 of those games, he has good games, and the other 4 are like, Well, can you go 4-2? Right? Can you have 4 good games and or 5 good games and 2 bad ones? %? Like, can you grow that? That's the question mark. But regardless, the biggest elephant in the room is the best player in the league. Yeah. So, all right. Are we good on Sixers, boys?
Yeah, we're good.
It's fun. I love talking Sixers with you guys. I love disagreements, even if I don't fully agree. I created a platform on my mom always said I should have been a lawyer. I chose a different career path.
Tom Arnone at law.
Yeah. The best in front of the judge. Like the best in the business. No notes, no jail time.
All right, throw him back.
He says no notes, and then the client's like, what?
What do you mean no notes?
You didn't bring notes.
What do you mean no notes?
I hope you have a few notes.
I paid you $10,000 for this.
I would shit myself if that was my
for me to come in the door.
No notes. Be like, what do you mean no notes?
The $10,000 was for me to walk in the door.
Pop, this is the last thing we'll say Sixers, and then we'll segue to some Eagles. Absolutely factual. Them doing the biggest things. If they can hit their open threes, you can put a bow on it. I'll see you in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yep.
Yep.
Having that veteran leadership is going to be killer.
Oh, it's huge.
Not to mention just all of Doc's experience in the playoffs, whether it's the good or the bad.
Well, a lot of non-Sixers fans would tell you that Doc is a problem in the playoffs.
I mean, I'm a Sixers fan. I'll tell you that as well. But I will say I was the most hesitant person on the planet when it came to hiring Doc Rivers. He's changed my mind. I was the biggest Doc hater coming into this. I'm his biggest freaking fan right now for what he's done with Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris.
Well, you're a fucking idiot, even though I love you.
I am a fucking idiot. So,
I say that with all due respect. You know this. What I'm saying to you is, like, when he hit the open market, are you kidding me? You had second thoughts? Hey, did you see that? No.
What about the other choices?
Everybody in the house, even though I defended Brett, everybody in this house, right, was best friends with everybody. You understand? It was like everybody was everybody's son, right? I needed a change of culture. When Doc Rivers when we fired Brett, I was looking at former players. I wanted accountability from former players, right? So I wanted Sammy. When Doc came available, it was no goddamn brainer. The fact that you even have second thoughts, don't talk to me about postseason shit. It's hard to win the postseason. And the guy's got a championship, and you can never take that away, all right? There's a lot of coaches out there that have a lot of winning records in the regular season and don't have a championship. I'm never taking that shit away from him. And he goes to the postseason a lot. He has a chip as a player, right? Sam Cassell has chips as a player himself. So Danny Green does. There's a lot of rings and enough of them to know what it takes.
Yep. Tom, I'm gonna try to wrap it up real quick. But what annoys me about when people like rip on Doc, right, is when they say, Doc, they'll say Doc's not a top 10 coach, and we're going to name you all these coaches that are better than him, right? Doc has coached, and they'll use the 3-1 lead blown. Like, yes, that's never good. Why a 3-1 lead being blown is never good. But like what you said, he's won a championship. How many coaches in the NBA have won a championship? Like 3. So he's 9th all time in the history of the league in wins as a head coach. He's been in the league coaching for 20 years for a reason. These guys that have coached for 3 years telling me that they're better coaches than Doc, just stop. Show me a ring, then we can talk.
Right.
Facts. Factual. Listen, everybody's bench has question marks. I think when George Hill actually shows up, which will probably be in the next week or two, he'll probably have like 8 games to play before the playoffs. I think that's going to be a huge upgrade. We're fine, everybody. Everybody calm.
Yeah, we're fine.
But I understand it's going to be question mark.
Especially if work is getting hot heading into the playoffs. That's a big thing.
And Doc has helped 2 of our main important pieces, and that's Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris, and we can end that conversation right there.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll start this way when it comes to the Eagles. If the Eagles decide to stay at 12 before we get into them moving into the top 10, and that report coming out today, before we do that, we'll go. If the Eagles decide to stay at 12, would you rather them go defense or offense? What do you guys say?
I'd rather them go defense personally. I know Jeffrey Lurie. He's well, we have to have a flashy offense. We have to. Jeffrey Lurie's a nerd. So is Howie Roseman. But I mean, aside from like Fletcher Cox and an aging Darius Slay, who do you really have on defense that's young and you're excited about? There's nobody. So, and they've already said, without saying it, that they don't believe in Jalen Hurts. So at this point, we're going to be rebuilding the offense for a little bit. So when we're looking for our next quarterback, might as well start building that defense, or at least getting that nucleus together, just so the new new quarterback, whoever it may be, has at least a defense to rely on, and not just I don't know. I'd just rather have defense, to be honest with you, because I feel like no matter who we take it at offense, it's not going to be a guy that we want.
I get the arguments for defense, especially the cornerback position. Like some of those corners at the top of the board, like I feel like are like no doubt you can throw them on the field and they can be Pro Bowl type of corners for you. But also, if like we've been over this, if Devonta Smith is on the board, there's no one else on the board that you take over him. No one. Doesn't matter about positions. Doesn't matter about defense versus offense. It's taking a Hall of Fame player that, in my opinion, can be a perennial Pro Bowler and put up 1,000+ yards for the first time since Jeremy Maclin.
Pete?
I mean, it's just brilliant stuff there, John. Brilliant stuff. Because I 100% agree with you. Like I see what Jake is saying. But like for me, it's all going to depend on who's there. Like, because I really like Patrick Surtain and JC Horn, but I also am a really, really big fan of Devonta Smith, and I wanted Devonta Smith at 6. So you're telling me I can get Devonta Smith at 12, and I get a first round pick in 2022? Oh, that's a dream scenario. And like drafting Devonta Smith helps me evaluate Jalen Hurts. He's gonna have it gives him a true bona fide number 1 weapon to sling it to. So
that's
because as much as I would love another shutdown corner next to Darius Slay, the option of having a perennial Pro Bowl like wide receiver and a true number 1 receiver in Devonta Smith, it's just going to be too hard for me to pass up.
Yeah, I'll say this, right? I watched Welcome to the NFL stuff with the rookies coming in. All right, and it's like a bunch of guys, Justin Fields, Kyle Pitts, Micah Parsons, and there's others, JC Horn. Okay.
Yep.
I'm all about Devonta Smith. And if Devonta Smith's there, I take him, I go to sleep. It's a done deal. But there's a guy And I know this organization won't go there. And I'm going to promise the people something. Okay? I promise you something right now. I've listened to Micah Parsons talk. I've listened to his competitive nature. I listen how he makes guys laugh, and he's a leader, and he's a worker. All right?
Mhm.
I've just watched these things. And if you're doing that kind of stuff as an evaluator, like these guys are supposed to be, let me tell you something. This dude is a freak. This dude is going to be a 10-time All-Pro, and you can book that shit too.
Mhm.
Okay? I'm not like there's some guys I'm high on in this draft, right? He's always been in my top 5 at 6, and if this dude falls to 12, I think I take him over Patrick Surtain. And Patrick Surtain is number 1 on my board, has been a corner, and I take him over it because I never valued a position that game changes in the NFL and always has. And that's the middle linebacker position. And if I can get a guy that can run like him and that can cover like him and is the perfect linebacker in today's NFL, I have to take it. I have to. And maybe even take it over Devonta Smith.
He's like when you play Madden and you put a strong safety at middle linebacker and you're like cheesing the game because he's so fast, but he also hits like he's a lineman.
Mm-hmm. What did he run? He ran like a 4.4?
Yeah,
I think he ran a 4.4. Like
I think it was like a 4.39 or 4.38.
Yeah, it was under.
That's so scary. That's so scary.
Like, the Eagles, I think, there's honestly a higher likelihood that Micah Parsons is there at 12 and Surtain and Devonta Smith are gone. Like, in my opinion, Tom, Surtain's going to be gone. Like, I don't think he's going to be lasting until 12.
Yeah, probably.
Especially with the Cowboys, like, right there. Like, it just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Jonah Johnny, I mean,
never underestimate the stupidity of Jerry Jones there, John.
Yeah,
well, I think the defensive tackle from Alabama is a perfect fit for the Cowboys.
I like him a lot.
Paramore, and it's such an overdraft to where I'm just like, yeah, go for it, have fun with that.
That's a Cowboys pick, just like Taco Charlton a couple of years ago.
I knew he was going to stink too. I knew he was going to stink.
Well, I heard tons of Cowboy fans tell me how good he's going to be.
Wayne, this is why I'm here, baby. You know what I mean? I mean, it's simple. You know, I can listen to a guy talk and say, and I already know he's extremely talented.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Like the way he makes guys work, the way everything's a competition to him.
Yeah.
Like that. Like the 1-2, baby. I say it. I yell at my kids all the time. How bad you want something? Mm-hmm. And this guy looks like he flat out wants it. And this is a game changer. Like Patrick Surtain is a game changer to me. But the middle linebacker position is so important. So important. You got a guy who can walk in and tally up 100 tackles a year for you. And can flat out get to the quarterback. A great run stopper as well. Can get after the quarterback on blitzes and can flat out cover anybody. I mean, come on. That's like having a corner anyway. Mm-hmm. If your linebackers can't cover tight ends, you're getting fucked in the ass anyway.
Like, yeah, Tom, what you just said was what I was about to bring up. Like, how many more years do the Eagles need to look at game film of whoever it may be? Tyler Higbee going for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. George Kittle going for 15 receptions in a damn game. Like, every year, the tight end is going to go for big yardage. If you're playing fantasy football, get the tight end who's playing the Eagles because you know they're going for a touchdown and a buck 100.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. And that's where I go with it. So it's a big change on my board a little bit. One, because I don't know how much Devonta Smith or Patrick Surtain are going to be there. Mm-hmm. And I cannot wait, right? Because I'm worried about the Broncos taking Micah Parsons first off. That's my concern. So we're going to tie that into getting inside the top 10 too. But I'm sure I'm going to argue with guys like Chucks and other guys that would tell me like Caleb Farley's a better pick than Micah Parsons or J.C. Horn's a better pick than Micah Parsons. And with all due respect, I'm going to tell people they're fucking idiots. So I cannot wait.
If you take Caleb Farley in the top 12, I want what you're smoking right now, especially with the injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the way Victor,
you're looking at 20. That's where you start having a conversation with Caleb Farley is at 20.
How many better water shit?
Who cares?
Yeah, nobody. Nobody.
We're a struggle bus there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Slow to react on motion offense. He's good against traditional offense. Listen, man. Listen.
If you can play, you can play.
Listen, he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be perfectly fine.
He'll be fine. But we'll see what we do, and then we're going to segue this into who could the Eagles be targeting if they do trade back up into the top 10. Now, who do you guys think they go after? Going back into the if they do, this rumor's true and they do work their way back in, who's it for?
And now, again, it's subjective, right? Because it depends on how the board looks, how certain players fall and stuff like that. To me, it really depends. But to me, I think it's going to be a quarterback just because I know how Howie's mind works, and they already don't trust Jalen Hurts to be the future of this franchise. But
you think that they're moving back up in for a quarterback?
It would not shock me at all. No,
Yep,
it would not shock me.
That's where I'm going with it.
It would not shock me whatsoever. So, say for example, like a Justin Fields. I don't think he will fall that. Say, like for example, like a Justin Fields or one of the top quarterbacks falls a little further than they expected on their board. For example, it would not shock me whatsoever if Howie pulls that move. It would not shock me at all.
This shit. You want to get me to go to the NovaCare and get arrested, like I talked about.
All right, I got one.
All right, go ahead.
If Trey Lance is there at 7, I 100% can see the Eagles making a move with the Lions and selecting Trey Lance, and then within 20 seconds, Tom will be streaking naked down Broad Street.
It won't shock me whatsoever. It will not shock me.
The thing I was honestly gonna say an answer to this question. I was gonna say, you know what, Tom? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they're gonna go with the quarterback. But I guess everyone agrees with me. Like,
yeah,
I don't think that the Eagles, we know how the Eagles work. Do we really think the Eagles are going to trade up into the top 10, even though they were just in the top 10 for any other position? Maybe they would do it for Kyle Pitts, but I don't think they would do it for anyone else. Like, Kyle Pitts.
I don't think it's anybody you would think it is. Okay, look, I'm going to go on a limb too. I think they go up in there. And I think they throw you all curveball. Yeah. I think they do go
Barrymore.
No, I think they do go linebacker or Barrymore, right, or tackle, right. I could see them going back up in for a player like that, and nobody would expect. Like nobody.
Barrymore in the top 10 would be a disaster.
Yes, but this is also Howie.
He's not even a top 15 pick. Like if Howie did that.
It's Howie.
If Howie did that,
Parsons is money, Johnny. You go back up in the top 10 and
he's all money.
I'm loving life.
I agree with that.
I'm loving life. If you go up for Sartain, I'm loving life. If you go for Smith, I'm loving life. If you go up for Waddle, I don't love it. I don't love it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like that.
I'm iffy on that.
If we land Waddle, I'm not going to be up in arms, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, if you get Waddle between 12 or you trade back a few spots like at 15 and you get him.
Yeah, I'm fine with.
I can't trade up for him.
No.
If they trade up for Jalen Waddle, I'm putting my fist through a wall.
There's only 3 names you're allowed to trade up for. 3. I'm going to give them to you. And none of them are a fucking quarterback. You understand me? None of them are a quarterback. You can trade up for Patrick Surtain. Okay. You can trade up for Devonta Smith, and you can trade up for Micah Parsons.
Yep.
Okay? They're the only ones you're going to be able to trade up and get at this point.
Tom, you're forgetting the fact that there's a guy from North Dakota State that Howie can rub in people's faces.
Shut up. Stop it with that. Okay, I'm not allowed anymore. The other name you're allowed to trade up for, Penei Sewell. You're allowed to go get Penei Sewell because I don't care. He's a moose. I don't give a shit.
Mac Jones.
He's an issue. And the only other player you're allowed to go up for, and I don't necessarily love it in that spot, is Kyle Pitts.
Well, Tom,
the names you're allowed to go get.
Tom, I mean, we're assuming that Kyle Pitts and Jamar Chase aren't going to be like anywhere close to the Eagles' like range of trading up.
Yeah,
but like if we trade up for Jamar Chase too, like I would still love it.
Yeah. Like if he fell and you went up for him, sure, yeah, absolutely. I just think he goes by.
Jake would cry tears of joy.
Like I said,
Devonta
Jake-
Smith's better anyway.
What Howie would do to Jake? This is what he would do. Jamar Chase would be sitting there at 7. The Eagles would trade up with the Lions. They would go up to 7. We're getting Jamar Chase. We're doing it. And then they would draft Jalen Waddle.
He did to me with Justin Jefferson last year. So
I would be getting a DM within the hour saying, "Hey, please come pick me up. I did something."
Yeah, just shoot me.
I just think it's so easy. Like I don't think Chase will be there. I like Devonta Smith over Chase anyway. And I'm just a weird cat like that. That's my own personal thing. I think Surtain will be in that area where we want.
Yep.
I think the chance of Penny Sewell being there, the chance, not high, just depends on where the board falls. And I do think Devonta Smith, I think there's going to be players available. I think Micah Parsons. So even at 12, I think there's going to be a couple of these guys floating around. So it's just, listen, are you going to hit one of my 5 guys? That's my big 5. That's my big 5. I take out, I'm giving you realistic names. That's my big 5, even at 12. Because I believe one of them 5 guys that I named to you will be there at 12. One of them.
Somebody brought this scenario up, and this is the scenario.
Yeah, real quick, and then we'll go into your scenario. You guys think that? Like, do you believe that the 5 names I said, one of them could be there at 12? Just one.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind because theoretically, I think how the top 3 is going to go. I think the top 3 is going to be quarterback. I think, but again, it all depends on who's moving and shaking at the top 3. Because I know come draft week or even a week before, because we're coming up against it, so you're going to hear a bunch of draft news, bunch of rumors and speculation right before draft time. So,
Marky Mark, why stay there at 6 originally when you can just trade back in a similar spot, get the guy you're in love with, and a first round pick?
Yeah. I mean,
plus you don't have to give up really that much either.
Yeah, you give up like a 3rd and maybe like a 4th next year or some other pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I've seen this scenario thrown out a lot, and if it happened, I'd cry tears of joy. You get Horn at 12, and then you trade up late into the first round to get Rashad Bateman.
One thing I will tell the listeners is that now that the draft is like what? The draft's like in a week and almost a week and a half away.
13 days.
Yeah, it's 13 days away. For better or worse, whether Howie screws it up or gets it right, we're going to have a hell of a show on the day after the first round. Reacting to the second round.
You know,
well, technically, it'll be like a live reaction show because
it's going to be a live reaction show. There's no doubt in my mind.
By the time we're on, the second round will probably be on its way.
There'll probably be 10 guys on the screen, honestly, that Friday night. We'll probably have like 10 guys on talking.
Yeah, it's gonna be nuts.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fun.
Especially night 1. Night 1's gonna be crazy.
Thursday night is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, that night 1's gonna be insane.
And night 1's gonna be wild, and then I got to rush home from practice.
That's a Thursday, isn't it? That's a Thursday, right?
Yeah, it's Thursday.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
I want to say 8:00 start, so it's probably like a 8:30 start, realistic.
Yeah. So the Eagles
drag on the first
until 10 p.m. because
they drag on the first like 5 or 10 picks. Yep.
Trevor Lawrence is going to sit there. We're going to wait, even though we know it's.
Well, he ain't sitting anywhere. He ain't going to be there.
Yeah.
Oh well, he'll sit on his couch waiting.
He's going to look at next to his hot wife and be like, "Man, I can't believe I'm not there." Ha 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 ha.
So, the next question I got for you guys, and the final one is: will Jeffrey Lurie decide to move on from Howie Roseman if we'll say this draft or all the drafts in general don't pan out?
That's a
no. He doesn't.
Good question.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it happens at all.
I know Marty was talking about that today and how Lurie is not exactly as in love with Howie as he's been in years past.
Oh,
and
what?
how if he has another bad year, that he might be willing to get rid of him.
I did see Marty say that, but I don't know how much stock I'm putting into it.
No. How long ago was Rob on this?
Like 2.5 weeks ago.
He told me that this was the greatest relationship owner to GM in sports. Like, and the greatest in terms of like their relationship with each other, like their communication and how close they are, etc. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a switch in 2.5 weeks. Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying what came out today.
I'm just telling you what was told to me, and I accepted it and figured, okay, guys, never going. And then 2.5 weeks later, we're talking about that maybe it's not as tight as it was 2.5 weeks ago. Okay.
I have the tweet right here. So Rob Motti said, I've been saying Howie Roseman's close relationship with Eagles owner Jeffrey Lurie gives him a unique job security, but I was told there's more pressure on the GM now more than ever. Little double dip.
But I mean, like,
okay,
that is like, okay, like that's an open-ended statement that could, like, yeah, he could have pressure on him. That doesn't mean he's going to get fired.
Right.
I don't think that Howie's going to go. I would love, I mean, this is me being just like realistic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Howie's going anywhere.
No, he's not going anywhere at all.
I don't think
You
so
would
either.
have
It's
to-
interesting to hear, but I think he's here to stay.
Short of Roger Goodell pulling an Adam Silver and kicking him out like Sam Hinkie, I don't think he's going anywhere.
He would have to have like the worst draft ever.
Well,
Like,
he's already done that a few times.
no, but I mean like 6 guys would have had to like 2 weeks from being picked, like all like get arrested or something like that. Like,
listen, Pete, Johnny, Jake, the fact of the matter is he ain't even making the damn picks.
Yep.
The owner is.
Yep. When it comes to first round, yep.
Yeah, so I mean, let the guy make the picks if he's going to be the goddamn general manager. Let his people do their jobs. Look, I can't even put the draft on Howie anymore. The draft goes on Jeffrey because he's had his hands in it since 2017.
Yep.
First and second round, Jeffrey Lurie's got his hands all fucking in it. Okay, like they like Jalen Rager. I think Howie might have, but you know what I mean. That's coming from the owner. So is Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, but Tom, like, what you're saying about Jeffrey Lurie is like, yeah, I think that's credible, but like, it's hard for me to believe you when after the fact, after Justin Jefferson puts up an all-time rookie season with the all-time best for a receiver, it's hard for me to believe reports that are coming out and saying Howie wanted Justin Jefferson all along. It was Lurie. Like, it's just hard for me to believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I ain't telling you I believe that. I'm telling you that the owner's making the picks. That's all I'm telling everybody. I'm telling everybody this is like draft day where the owner wants a certain player, but the GM actually listens.
Yeah.
That's why he has job security, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
That's why he has job security, because he ain't making the damn picks. Now, if the pressure's on him now, then maybe they finally will let him go back and make picks again. He hasn't made picks since Chip Kelly left. I want everybody to know that. He has not made a pick since Chip Kelly left. And the fact that maybe he made Derek Barnett, but after that, nobody, because the owner makes excuses for all the players.
Yep.
The owner does.
And then when it gets to the third and the fourth round, Jeffrey's just like, all right, I don't know any of these people anyway. The scouting team, you guys can do something.
And that's when they actually do a decent job later in draft.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to find as many stars that way. You got to find your stars first, second round. You might find diamonds in the rough that become stars, but most realistically, you got to nail them early. And when the owner's got when it's saying, I want this guy, oh my God, we're not letting anybody do their job. So we'll see. It's a mess. But like Howie was Tom Lucas, I'm not saying he was good before then. I'm just saying let him at least let his team do their job at minimum. Or like we talked about earlier on, how about you just let the head coach win a Super Bowl here before you fired him, let him do his damn job.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could tell in his face he wasn't a fan of either one of the picks. I don't care what anybody fucking tells me. He'll be like, oh, Tom, well, did you see him? He looked happy. He was smiling. No, he wasn't. That's not a real Doug smile. I've seen Doug smile happy, and I've seen Doug fake smile. That's a fake smile.
Mm-hmm.
He probably was like, wait, Jalen Rager was even in this draft? I know. That's how I felt. I'm like, who?
Yeah, that's how I was. I'm like, who?
And we better not have a who this year. But there's some guys I like, not at 12, but like Quiddy Pay.
I love Quiddy Pay.
because when you hear
I
his,
just don't like him at 12.
no, I don't like him at 12. But when you hear his story and like toughness that comes from it, I like him. I love the linebacker from Notre Dame. I mean, you want to talk?
Okay.
Yeah, you want to talk about a guy who blows everything up.
Yeah,
I mean, he will take your head off, and I wouldn't mind if we traded back and got him. Like there's some good players in this draft. There really is. So
yeah.
We'll see if we'll find out who makes the pick. Because if it's a quarterback, then you know it's the fucking owner, and that's why I'll get arrested.
Yeah.
Trey Lance season.
Yeah, they wanted Frank Reich. They were about to. Yeah, Doug was fucked over. It's a train wreck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now you're giving you literally brought in a young puppet, and are you even going to let him coach?
Mm-hmm. That's the real question.
Huh. Are we even letting this guy coach or what?
Yeah. And Pop, I agree with you, but if anyone's going to miss on him, it's going to be us.
Yep.
Oh, if there's a hold to beer in this on Thursday night, that sure as hell is going to be us.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt.
And I'll say it one more time for everybody that wants to keep writing quarterback in. Stop it. I really don't want to get arrested. But this was a fun show. We were able to talk about 2 dubs. Right, Sixers don't play again until Monday, so little time off.
There you go.
Not a bad thing. Phillies obviously back at it tomorrow. They are a 4:05 game, and you'll have Kim versus Matt Moore. So Matt Moore stinks, but can we hit the ball again? You know that's going to be the difference in this baseball. Hit the baseball enough, and can they play better baseball? So that's what we got to find out. That's going to be the telling signs moving forward, but. We'll take a win because we were struggle busting it. So it's good to get a win. Now go get one tomorrow so you can at least win a series and have the opportunity for a sweep, which is always a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Boys, you guys do a tremendous job. Big-ass job by all you, Pete, Johnny, Jake.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
I don't know if I appreciate you guys, but it may seem like that. No, I love you guys. Ton of freaking fun. Yep, baseball for me again tomorrow. Let's go try to get some wins. 12U baseball, just a real quick recap. It's like McGuire Sosa years. All right. It's like listen, keeping a ball inside the park is like ridiculous. Like it's absurd. Like I honestly don't know where to pitch kids anymore. Like, do I go up? Because if you miss up, then you're chest high and that's gone. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you try to go above the hands. If I go low, dudes are getting them off the end of the bat and hitting them going away. I'm like, what is going on here? Like if I had these bats when we were 12, it'd be long ball city.
Oh yeah, Tom. When I played travel ball, AAU ball when I was like 12, 13, I was using those Mako bats with the double barrel. I have absolutely no like good arm strength at all, and I was smacking them to dead center.
Dude, I'm telling you. I had a kid throw a changeup that was literally in the dirt, and it was a great pitch. And it was probably like under knee high. It was definitely under knee high. It was a great pitch, and it took it all at the end of the bat with like a zen. It was like a zen, and they just passed the bat along. Like everybody used the bat, and I'm like, wait, and then like that annoys me. And then like if it was the first tournament of the year in the first game, even at 12, we might consider plunking somebody because you've already hit 4 home runs. You already hit 4. No, you hit 2 home runs. We went up 1-0 in the first. Then they came up and they hit. Now I have 2 teams, the red and the blue. This was the blue. The red was playing another up on the other field. But my red, them guys hit 2 home runs. The other team hit 2. So there was 4 home runs up on that field alone, right? But so wherever I was going with this now, but long story short, they hit like 2 home runs in the first inning, right, on great pitches, and then. They started like mixing in bunts. What are you doing? Fine. You really want one in the ear at 12? And then you're going to say, you're going to put one in a 12-year-old's ear? No. I'll say, I'm going to put one in your ear for being an idiot, for being a loser, for being what Sweeps like to say, a cheese dick. Right? That's what Uncle Sweeps called it. Guys don't know how to coach. They become losers. You're bunt. He hit 7 home runs in the game. What are you bunting for?
Right.
Why is anybody laying a bunt down? Grow up. Grow up. Just keep hitting balls out of the park. Freaking loser. Yo, listen, Pop, we did go inside, and these dudes are hitting balls off the hands out. Like, it's because of the bats. It's literally because of the bats. That's not an excuse for losing. Like, we lost. It doesn't. That's not the conversation. It's just crazy how these bats, like, you jammed up. Going, what? The fucking pop up. How the hell did that go out?
I mean, like when you that's why I think it's so hard to draft, because in high school they can still use these types of bats, but in college and the pros, the men really do get separated from the boys when it comes to wood bats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you find barrel? Because if you ain't finding barrel on wood, you're in trouble. And that's why I purposely make my kids hit with wood. I practice a lot more. Find the wood barrel. You find the wood barrel, the aluminum barrel is game over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Simple. But it's fun. We had a pop-up go in the air, 40 feet in the air. I probably could have ran to the center and caught it. It was between first and the catcher, and nobody moved.
Oh, jeez.
Cool. Right by our dugout. Oh, that did not go well. Everybody want to get in the car? What are we going to do? Nobody wants that? Everybody come in here for a minute. We want the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to make a play. You don't want to make a play? Tell me. You can come sit with me. You know what I mean? Until you're ready to make a play. Come have a seat. And when you're ready to make a play, we'll put you back in.
Right.
Harper did good, Eagle Slayer. Phillies hit the baseball. We love all you guys. We can't thank you enough. Money Pop Podcast is also live on ATD as we speak. Go win some goddamn money. We out.